Here's the opening range for August 2024. Sorry for the delay in August report. I should have September's report online tomorrow. Okay, we'll look at the totals down here first. Dow 97 points, NQ 192, S&P 8.5, and then we have a bunch of red, which we'll go into in more depth. Again, the stuff in red is not included in this, so based on how I describe it, you can add and subtract from these totals however you see fit. But Dow 97 points. You had trade here. Again, the ones in red are not in the totals, and then one here. As far as the one, so you got 97 points in those, and then August 1st, it's in red there. The reason it's in red, it took the fourth trade before you got a win on the 25%. So, you're in a lot of drawdown at that point. So however you want to handle that and trade it, as we've described before, for the most safe 25%, you're entering that second pivot, and you triple up on that third pivot if the second pivot loses, and then you'd have to triple up again. So, but that's a lot of contracts and so forth. So probably not the wisest idea. So you'd probably subtract from that one. The 50% was a break even, which was basically the second trade, which not a big deal. August 8th here, the reason it's in red, even though it's a positive 30 points, is you missed it by 2 ticks. You missed pivot 1 entry by 2 ticks, and it went to 100%, which would have made this not a trade at all. So, so officially, yes, it's 30 points. It's not in these totals here, but any close calls like that, I like to just avoid myself. But if you're going to trade it specifically, exactly to the rules, you would add 30 points to that. NQ was very busy, big month of 192 points. You had 17 points here, 16 points there, 32 points there. Again, this one's not included, which we'll get into in a little bit. Another 29 points, another 16 points, 11, 17, 12, and 12, 9, and 19, and 9. So a very active month and very profitable. Again, NQ tends to be the one that you're going to make the most on, but you're also going to blow your account the fastest. So we'll go over the ones that are in red here for the NQ. So August 8th, same date as the Dow here. August 8th, you had 2 trades, or 2 most safe trades here. The first one missed the entry by, or the first pivot missed the entry by 3 ticks, so a little bit more than the 1 and 2 ticks that I talked about. Making pivot 2 a most safe trade, it was a winner, which would be worth 14.75 points. And then pivot 3 missed by 1 tick. Since it missed by 1 tick, pivot 4 would have been a trade, which was again worth 14.75 points. So the first trade missed by 3 ticks. The second trade missed by 1 tick as far as entries go. So if those would have actually not missed by 3 and not missed by 1 tick, you wouldn't have had any trades there. So I was a little bit more extreme there. So if you wanted to add the 29.5 points there, or at least 14.75, since one of them missed it by 3 ticks. But however you want to do that, I like to err on the side of caution in that sense, as far as, so doesn't look like I'm padding the stats. But anyways, that's the only NQ red ones that we have listed here. And then lastly, the S&P. S&P, we have a lot of red stuff, but we had 8.5 total points. As far as the stuff in red goes, August 1st, we missed an entry by a tick. So this one would have missed it by a tick. Again, officially rules, you would add that to the 8.5. And then the 50%, you missed the entry by 2 ticks on this one. And you got worked out in your favor if you're doing it officially, but missed it by 2 ticks. So anyway, that's the reason those two are in red. August 8th, again, each indice had an issue with this. This again is missed. You actually missed the exit by a tick. So you got the right entry as far as the S&P goes, but you missed the 25% exit by 1 tick. So officially it was a loss. So that next pivot would be a most safe entry, which was a win. But again, that's why I put them in red. So you can add it if you want to, but that's why I do it the way I do it. And then the 12th, you missed actually a few entries, or actually you missed the entry a few minutes prior, which would have been a winner by 1 tick. So this one here, you had 4 pivots in a row that were all losses. So on the third pivot hit, or excuse me, on the third pivot, you would have been an entry, but it lost. And then the fourth entry as well lost. But anyway, you missed the entry a few minutes prior by a tick. So in that particular case, best case scenario, you are breaking even on that, or you're staying out of that particular trade. And then lastly, the 28th, pivot 1 got to missed the entry by a tick, went up and did what it was quote unquote supposed to do, and then but missed it by a tick. So when it came back to that number, it went through it and making pivot 2 an actual trade. So you could add that if you wanted to do it based on official, but that's what the results were for August. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow with September's results.